How is everybody? How is it going? If we can say how we are feeling by now, just one or two words. It's just brainstorm. Yes, please, go ahead. How are you after what we have been doing and in the work, in the retreat? Yes. Energy in the mind. And then in the back we heard calm. What else we have? Joyful. Very good. What else do we have? At ease. Ah, very nice. At ease. What else do we have? Yes. Dignified. Oh. Dignified. Very beautiful. Congratulations. Anybody else who feels dignified? Clarity. Something else? Grateful. Can die without regrets. Wow, that sounds very nice one. Anybody would like that one? Die without regrets. Yes, we have tried. Already, and we know it. What else do we have? Awareness. We are aware. What else do we have? Fearless. Fearless. Anybody else would like fearless? Fearless. Dignity, confidence, courage. Based on what? On what we already have. It was there all along. But now, it's here. It's in your pocket. Fearless, yes. Reinforcement. Reinforcement of what would you say? Deep inside. They were hidden like a treasure that was there all the time, but was not anymore. Dignified, strengthened. I feel satisfied with the words you are saying. I can already feel that the purpose for this retreat is already satisfaction. So there are some questions. Should we go through some? And then we finish with Q&A, explore some things, send loving kindness, and return home. Would that be okay? Energy okay? Seems like okay. The emotions are sounding good. I just want to, there is a question for which I just had a retreat or workshop with teenagers, and it was about this. So I hope I can find the images because this was explained very important with the kids, with the teenagers. Let me see just where it is. If not, I just speak about it. Where can this be? No, cannot find it now. So the question goes like this. Bhante, sometimes I wake in the morning feeling my blood pressure going up and feeling like a mini panic attack. No obvious causes. Previous night, how do I manage these panic attacks? Yes. Anybody else who has experienced something similar, that you wake up and you feel fear, stress, or just wake up and feel something like this sinking feeling? Raise your hand. Who else feels from time to time? Who else? Yes, my dear family. So I have very good news for this one. In the past, as I mentioned, I also was experiencing fears and attacks of panic and paranoia, and especially in the morning I was experiencing them until I realized something, that our own physical structure has something to do with it. And I go to explain. When we are sleeping in the morning, our body releases some chemicals for us, dopamine, and that makes us feel relaxed, and we fall asleep. And then while we are sleeping, deep sleep, the body and the mind disconnects. The mind disconnects consciously for a little while, and then as we are waking up, especially when the light of the sun or any light hits onto our window, and then it comes even when we have the eyelids closed, that is the signal for our body to release cortisol. So every morning, actually, we need cortisol to wake up. We need it. So our body is already programmed that whenever we feel light, the adrenal glands on top of the kidneys, they release cortisol and adrenaline. So we kind of get wake up, and then we feel. So my dear family, to experience stress in the morning is actually normal. The body is doing its job. We are about to wake up. The only thing that was my problem is that I was thinking that it was a problem with me. Why am I feeling stressed? Why am I feeling fear? Why am I feeling panic? So our teachers inspire us to study the endocrine system, all the glands that we have in the thyroid, or we have a few in the ovaries or the testicles, all of the glands that we have in the body, pituitary gland, they release chemicals that are useful for the functioning of the body, and cortisol, being called the stress hormone, that's what it does. It wakes us up. We all need a healthy degree of cortisol in the morning and adrenaline in order to wake up. And then when we stretch like this, it's like doing to our kidneys like this, and then more cortisol comes out, and we actually wake up a little bit more. So my dear family, it's not a problem. It's not something going wrong with us. Yes, the mind might need to take some attention or something, but a big chunk of it, when you wake up, somebody else, after taking a nap, you take a nap in the middle of the day, and then when you are just waking up, has ever felt stress or fear? It is the same. The body is waking up. We have the stress hormone on the bloodstream. So the trick that I did before going to bed, I was reminding myself, tomorrow morning, I will have cortisol, hence some stress. There is nothing wrong with me. The body is waking up. It's needed to shake up. So when I started doing that, at the beginning, sometimes I remember and sometimes didn't. But then later on with time, I came to remember every day. And the first thing when I woke up and I feel the stress of the cortisol, I just felt, the body is doing its job. And immediately, there was no wondering, what did I did wrong? What happened to me? What am I afraid? And this brought to mind in the same question, he says, I have no, look, even our brother or sister who is asking the question, no obvious causes for the panic from the night, something that happened before. So, my dear family, really, really, the body is doing its job. We should not take things personal. The body is just waking up. We know it's going to come. Every time you go even to relaxation and then when you start moving, cortisol will come. The heartbeat, as it is mentioned here, goes up. That is the work of cortisol and adrenaline, to raise the heartbeat so we get into action. And we might feel like fight or flight, like some fear or something, because of the relation of the hormone. Will that be a good thing to know? Please remember and make the determination. Very clearly, very nice, I'm happy. Try it. Before going to bed, tomorrow in the morning, I will feel some stress. I have nothing to do, nothing happened. It is just the body waking up. So I hope this helps. It helped me a lot. And now, very seldom it happens. Very seldom. Now the mind understood and let go of the worry. What is wrong with me? Which, if we can encompass all the question, is a little bit, where are these panic attacks coming? What is wrong? Nothing is going wrong. We are just human beings, and the body is doing its job. And then at the end he says, P.S. This morning I woke up with metta chanting in English. Sadhu, and big smile. Good. The next question says, Bhante, yesterday it was mentioned that soul is an energy. Now, what is chitta or consciousness? Is it an energy too? Thank you. Well, if I said that soul was an energy, I apologize. Actually, I was saying that soul, there is no soul. It's just soul is a name we put to some aspects of our mind. So, for example, generally, at least in my culture, Catholic culture, when you speak about alma or soul, it's like your highest part of it. Your alma, your soul is doing something. But actually, as we saw, our mind, our chitta, which is mind, consciousness, as I said, is a big spectrum. When the mind, the mind needle goes to the bottom, low frequency, anger lives here, jealousy lives here, desire, attachment, all the negativity, sadness, and depression, and all the things, it lives on low frequency, and it feels suffering. Center is neutral, and higher parts, when we are wishing or developing spiritually, when the middle is neutral. And then when we start meditating, we start bringing the needle higher and higher. When we meditate, it is here. And then if we go to jhana, it's even further. And if we just go a little bit further, whoop, suddenly we go outside the world. The mind was so strong, so sharp, so clean, so subtle, so powerful that suddenly, boop, what needed to be done is done. The holy life has been lived. Nothing to be more done. Enlightenment happened. That's it. And we can choose where is the frequency of our mind. By practicing meditation, we're bringing it higher. No, don't go down, higher. By practicing sila, no, don't go to jealousy or greed or something. Come to generosity, to this side. Ooh, comes back up. By practicing wisdom, that's the one that brings it the furthest. And then when wisdom and bravery, bravery for what? For letting go. Do you see what we are doing here? Courage for what? Trust for what? To let go. And if we let go, finish. That mind cannot go back to the world. Finish. It will live the last life wholesomely, no more karma, and that mind will be totally purified. So, sometimes when we say soul or alma, we are referring to, I imagine, because I cannot define really well. I imagine we are referring to higher states of mind, our spirituality, our dignity. So I don't think we need to use the word, and the Buddha definitely say that atta or soul is non-existent. It's a name we put to an area of that spectrum. So, no, a soul is not an energy because it is not there. Now, the next part of the question. Is chitta consciousness a kind of energy? What do you think? What do you think? Is consciousness a kind of energy? What do you think? Who said yes? Raise your hand. Many of us. Yes, I also think. So much energy that look, it moves the body. Look, it can move with mind can move matter. No, many times we say, oh, I will move matter with my mind. Well, actually we all can, isn't it? Look, mind is moving matter. Mind is moving matter, really. So it wakes us up in the morning. I think energy is, consciousness is a kind of energy, yeah. And as they said also to understand rebirth, sometimes people in Mexico, they don't know nothing about, generally don't know or don't want to think about rebirth. So when they say, Bhante, is rebirth really real? And then I said, well, I can tell you something. Nature recycles everything. Definitely. When this body dies, I bet to you that every single particle of this body is going to be recycled. The water will return to water. The solid will return to solid and will become something else. The heat will dissipate with the heat in the air, and all the elements of this body, nothing, no molecule of it will be wasted. It will be food maybe for other animals or worms or whatever. Something's going to happen to this and will be recycled. Nature recycles everything. The next question that I ask, can we say that our consciousness is part of nature? What do you think? Yes. Is consciousness part of nature? Yes. What can be outside of nature? Anybody here can jump so high that you go outside the world? Anybody? Have you tried? We are part of nature. Consciousness is a part of nature. If nature recycles everything, I tell to the people, maybe. And also scientists have said, this is why am I remembering this example. Scientist says, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only change into something else, isn't it? Well, if our consciousness is energy, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes into something else. So I tell this to the people and I think rebirth is possible. When we die, does the mind just boom, falls down like this? I don't think so. Energy is moving. Even when you push an object, if you stop pushing the object continues to move. The same happens with karma. In the direction that I put the object, in the spectrum, if I push the object this way, when I die, the object continues going like that. If I push it on this direction, it will continue. So if you ask me, I didn't hear from my teachers. I haven't read it from the Buddha saying that mind is energy. But I do think it is a kind of energy that is recycled. And yeah, so I hope this, yes.
Bhante, can I say something?
Yes, here's the mic.
So I was thinking about this because the question came about yesterday about the soul as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in Buddhism, we talk about the birth and rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're talking about consciousness, so wouldn't it be right or wouldn't it be fair to say probably, if, as you name it right, a soul is like the stream of consciousness that's happening?
No. Soul, no soul. We take the word out. Let's not use it better. The Buddha denied soul. The Buddha said no atta, anatta. Soul is just a word we try to describe the mind. Consciousness is real. I don't know where is my soul, to be honest. If you ask me, Bhante, show me your soul, I can tell you what the consciousness is doing clearly, either good or bad. Consciousness, in our experience, is really direct. Soul, spirit, yesterday we tried. We cannot even define them. What is spirit? Does it mean there is a higher part of the spectrum? Possible. What is soul? Is the thing that continues to the other side? I'm not sure. But consciousness, can you feel your consciousness now? Are you hearing? Yes. Are we seeing? Yes. Am I smelling? Tasting? Yes. Feeling in the body and knowing what the mind is doing? Definitely. So I think the Buddha goes to the ground and says, this is what it really is. And when he describes us as humans, he said that we are only comprised of two things: matter of the body and the consciousness that is knowing the body. So the usage of soul, to be very honest, is out of my vocabulary. Unless we need to speak about it because of a question comes. But in my experience or practice, I've not used it. I'm born with that notion. My parents told me that I had a soul. The priest in the school told me that I had a soul. I released it many years ago. And to be very honest, I have never found the need to explain anything that is happening, and I preferred not to use it. And the Buddha was very definite. So, how you feel about it?
Well, I use that term a lot with the work that I do. I guess it's easier for people to relate because mainstream use that term quite often.
To refer to what? For example, when you speak to the people as soul, when?
To me, it's like the consciousness. the consciousness, and the way I understand consciousness is when we talk about the mind, although we think of the mind as this physiological part of us, there is also a non-physiological part of the mind as well. And to me, the soul is residing somewhere there in a sense.
Somewhere in a sense. You see, the soul is a little bit...
So when we are moving from one life to another life,
yes,
we are carrying that consciousness along with us as well.
Yeah, the process of consciousness continued, but it's changing now and it's changing then. Correct. It's not the same. Correct. It was inspired by this one, but it's a new one. New. Yes.
Correct. So it's changing, I understand. So when I talk to my clients, it's easier for me to tell people that to refer to it as a soul rather than there's this stream of consciousness and stuff like that, because not everybody will understand that.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that it's practical to use it, and that's why we invented it. The thing is that the Buddha came, stopped, and looked for it and says, no, there is no, in the periodic table of elements, there is no solidium or solonium. There is no element in the chart. So the Buddha will say, I will not, I know it's useful. And that's why we use it in America, because it is useful to refer to something, but that brings some ignorance with it. We think that the same thing died and the same thing rebirth on this one, and that is a mistake, because everything is changing, so it is not the same that was here and there. There is one example that the teachers gave, very nice. He said, if I have a candle and the light is coming down, almost finishing, I want to still have light. I want to have light. So before this candle turns off, I take a new candle, and then I turn this candle, and when I turn on this candle, poof, this one at that moment passes away, finish that one. So I have the new candle, new one with a flame. The teacher says, is this flame the same as the other one or different? What will you say? Is it the same or different? It's different, no, it's a new one. But is it the same? Is it related? Yes, we can say it's related because this one made it. And actually the flame, if you come very close to a candle, try it. You come very quiet and very close to a candle, and the candle is doing... Actually, the candle, when you see it, when it changes, is because it's arising, passing, arising, passing. And we see the light. Not even the candle is the same one. So, yes, I know it's very practical, and that's why we use it. But that brings some ignorance, that we think that we are solid and that there is a core that doesn't change. And ultimately, we will need to get rid of that ignorance. So why to make it bigger if we can say the stream of consciousness is moving forward? We have areas that are very noble. That's what we want to cultivate. And the energy, if you want to say, of consciousness will go through. It is not the same, it's changing. There is no core. Otherwise, you will need to clean that later on. So
I guess it's the same as how Bhante speak about the breath yesterday, where there is the concept of the breath and the nature of the breath, right? Where we are using
ultimate
the
reality
concept as a term to explain for people to understand and see it, but the nature is there, right? So when I use that term, I guess it's a concept for people to understand, but the nature is whatever.
If I may ask, to understand what? When you use consciousness and when you use soul, what do you want them to understand? Just to be on the same page.
To understand that there is that higher consciousness of, like when we do the meditation, with that consciousness where we're looking down to what we are experiencing, the breath that we're looking at, that consciousness.
How many consciousness do we have? Do we experience one or many? Is there a higher one? How do I change to that one? Difficult, ne? We are getting into trouble. So we better ground ourselves and speak about something that we can directly experience. Mind exists. Consciousness exists. Sometimes in the low frequency, is doing bad and generating suffering, and sometimes it's high. You can explain exactly the same thing without making a future mess of a word that I don't know how to describe. Right now I ask. It is very difficult. If they ask you, what is soul? Hope? Don't know. And if we couple with the wisdom of the Buddha, no, he denied it. He said, no, there is no soul. Consciousness there is, and it can act in the noble side or in the ignoble side. Here comes the responsibility and the beauty. You can choose where is your mind, in the ignoble, harming yourself and others, or neutral, or in the noblest one, helping others and purifying your mind. I think we can go without. This is my job also, not my job, but kind of my, how can you say, my activity. I speak about this and I explain things to people. So far, I haven't had the need of that, and I can say that we have nobility. What we are doing here, we have morality. We can stabilize our mind, and we have the capacity for wisdom in the same consciousness. Oh, I don't know how you feel, but it brings down to earth, and I feel, oh, I can do something about it. But if I have a soul if God gave me that soul, oh, we got into more trouble now. So. Yeah, I try to keep, and definitely in the Buddha's teaching, you will find that. It is better. I will recommend. Or I will say, I don't think monks will recommend the usage of the word. We can try. Yes? Somebody else in the room? Yes. Here. We explore, We explore.
Yeah, to the same topic, I'd like to add on to it. That's why there is this term called reincarnation
or rebirth.
Rebirth.
Yes.
Reincarnation is the wrong term to use. And reincarnation is made of two processes. Discarnation, which means, this is a Christianity thinking, that a soul leaves the body, discarnation. And then incarnation enters another body. So the reincarnation means there is this soul leaving the body and then entering another body. Yes. That is not the correct concept in Buddhism.
It's rebirth,
It is rebirth. Now, rebirth, you can think of it different from your candle. This candle, somebody forced it, is it?
No, I didn't force it. It was very softly.
Candle.
You can turn it on.
Yeah, well, you move the candle. There is a hand responsible for that.
Yeah.
Now, think of a bushfire. How did a bushfire cross the road to another bush? When the bushfire in one place sparks. One spark landed in another bush, and then it started. See? Now, we can understand that because human beings like to understand what we can see. We are existential thinking. We think something must exist. But in reality, when we die, that energy that was consciousness transforms into something else. It's conserved, it's transformed into something, but we don't understand what it is. Right? Scientists cannot prove it. Because scientists can only prove existential things, but this is not existential.
Yeah, so far they haven't, no.
Energy leaves the body somehow, transforms into something, and then appears, Gandhava, in the womb somewhere.
Yeah. Regarding the word reincarnation, it comes from the Latin word carne. Carne means meat, ne? So re-in means inside, meat again. Yeah. So literally it means you go inside another meat again. So you die from one meat, you die from this meat, and then you arrive in another carne. So you reincarnate. That breaks a trouble in many ways. First, it is not the same one died from here and came to the other one. It was a process. And another option that we know there are Brahmans who have no carne. The Brahmas have no body. The Brahmas are only mind beings, so it doesn't match. You not always go to carne back, to meat. You don't emit yourself back again.
Because humans need to understand what it can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. And describing a soul is like, this is an object. Yeah. That's why we can imagine what it is, but it's just imagination.
There is no need, We can describe the noble sides of our consciousness, and it serves the same function without getting into things spirit, or I don't know how to. Anybody knows how to describe spirit or define? I don't know. How do you define spirit? Generally, when we say spirit, it also goes to spirits. I don't know. No, I prefer no. May you be well, may you have peace, may I be well, peace. Forward. Consciousness and mind. Spirit, ooh, no. Consciousness, yeah.
Can I add a bit more to that?
Okay.
I think, my opinion, if it's a soul that goes for rebirth, a soul in the Christian concept
Uh-huh.
or Hindu concept,
Yes.
when they go a soul in a Buddhist concept, we don't have soul anyway in Buddhism. So it's a permanent entity. So when the soul went for reincarnation, that new entity should be about the same as the old entity because it's the soul that went in for reincarnation. So the character or whatever behavior of the new person should be very similar to the old person because it's a permanent entity. It's a soul that went into a new body.
Yeah, the tendency might be similar.
It's called reincarnation, right? Permanent entity. But then for rebirth, it's different because the consciousness that when Chuti Chitta arises, the consciousness went off, it will go to a new place.
Patisanti, yeah.
Patisanti, but then it won't be the same entity. Something similar and yet something different.
Yes.
So it won't be the same type of character of the new person.
Yes,
Is
yes.
it correct?
Yeah, that way. It's not the same, but it's also not unrelated. It is changing. We are changing even now. We were babies, we were children. Where is the children of you? Where is your baby? You as a baby. Ooh, long time ago, ne? Our teenager also left some time ago. So we are changing, it's just moving. We are at peace with it. Yes, oh, we kicked the beehive. Yes, we just kicked the beehive. Yes.
Hello, Bhante.
Hello.
People like to say about old soul. So how do you,
about what?
old soul?
Old soul. You are an old soul.
Yeah. So
Yes.
how do you define that?
We can say you're a very old psychic consciousness. You are a very old process of mind and not mind, only mind going on. Yes, we are apparently very old. Look, your brothers and sisters. Are you the same as your brothers and sisters? Do you like the same and think the same? No. Same parents, same home, same food, your parents send you to the same school. Why are we so different from our brothers and sisters? Now, we already born, any mama can tell. My mother says that, I have 3 sisters, no? My mother says that when she got pregnant of me, she knew I was a boy. She said, oh, this one is a boy. She said I was kicking here and there and moving a lot. Isn't it, Mama, that since the baby is in your belly, you can feel the tendency and character of your baby? Is it true? You can feel the baby already. Who? From where all that came? Do you think? Why are we here? We have many friends who knew about this retreat or know about the Dhamma, and we go and tell them, oh, you see, maybe there is some good, but only the people who likes it is here. Why? In Spanish, the people says, if the river has sound, it's because it has water. We already like what we experience. We heard for the first time the Buddha's teaching, and that wisdom, did you feel that? Wait. When I saw for the first time one monk in the street, I was in Macau. I was looking down in a bench like this, I was looking down, and I only saw the feet and the rope. And when I saw the feet and the rope, and he was passing there, I really thought, stop that man! I need to talk to him. I didn't know, I'm a Mexican, I never saw a monk before. Where? How? Why do you like what do you like? From where it comes? I don't think there is somebody who says, okay, this one like this one like that, this one like that. Do you think if there was an powerful, all goodness entity that chooses our character, why are there thieves or murderers or rapists? I don't see the use for it. So all those tendencies, my dear family, we need to be responsible, and they come from very long. Nature, how many years? We are part of the universe. We just said, no? We are part of the universe. How old is the universe? This matter that we are having here, this calcium on your bones right now, was generated billions of years ago in the explosion of one supernova, a star. We are literally stardust. All this planet was generated from pieces of star. The leftovers from the sun is planet Earth. And from the leftovers of planet Earth is you and me. And the iron in our blood and the oxygen we're breathing and all the elements, helium, it was generated outside. My dear family, it's a fact. We are very old already. But we don't need to say so because we get again into another thing that we need to clean later. This process of consciousness or this natural process, yes, has been gone for long and we can say. And if we use it poetically, well, I would prefer not to, but nice to meet you again, eh? We are very old already. When are we going to do the job? When are we going to finish? Gambare, gambare. Let's do it on this one. Yes. Is a question, comment?
Just a comment.
Yeah.
Bhante, let me kick another beehive. Today, 8 billion people in the world, and they say that during the time of the Buddha, there was not even 100 million people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back another 100,000 years, at the early time of Homo sapiens, there were only 3 or 4 million people in the entire world. How did 3 or 4 million people end up 8 billion people? So, how did all these souls get multiplied? It's really energy. And energy is changing. So in other words, today's 8 billion energetic bodies came from different forms of energy way back.
You see, my teacher says very simple. He said, how many ants do you think exist in the world?
Yeah.
And we can change realm. There are 31 realms.
Yeah.
And he said, don't worry, there will be plenty of beings. Bhante, they say, because very often they say, Oi, Bhante, becoming a monk and a nun is no good. And then we say, why not? If everybody becomes a monk or a nun, there will be no more children and the whole humanity will finish. And the teacher say, no worries. Our attachment is way greater and there are so many beings in so many realms, 31 realms. And if the ants or animals that are out there, billions and billions of them, change realm, plenty of humans. My dear family, the teacher said that we have been in many places already. They dare to say that we have been in the lower realms already, in the middle realm as we are now, very fortunate, and also in the higher realms. Nice to meet you again. May we finish with the job. Yes.
I just want to finish off by saying,
but let's focus on the questions, more than in the comments, otherwise it will extend the next time.
Basically at the end of the day, what is that Buddha did say there are 4 things that you don't try to understand. And this thing about the origin,
difficult.
And the ending, we can't understand. So I think as human beings, we try to understand what we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, but some things are beyond the ability to do that. So the best advice I give myself, and I hope maybe I can share it, is that instead of worrying about these things you cannot understand, worry about what you can understand. And what you can understand is the cultivation of the mind, raising the frequency to the higher level and go beyond that.
Purify.
That's what we can understand.
Purify our mind. Yes.
Focus on that. Don't worry about what we cannot understand.
The Buddha said something similar. Yes. So in the back. And you raise your hand, right?
Already Bhante got my answers. So it's the old soul, soulful music, I touch the soul, it's actually about consciousness.
It's kind of, it's consciousness. Who feels the music? Who touches the other one? It's a poetic way of using, but it brings trouble because later on we really believe there is something and we are attached to something else that is not really there, and we suffer if it happens something to it. It's better just to go with something that we can clearly see, and the people will see it also, consciousness and body. Simple.
Italian song.
Yes.
Since I think the beehive has been kicked.
Oh my goodness, you like to kick beehives.
That was a question I used to ask many years back.
What? Which question? This one?
Birth, rebirth.
Birth, rebirth.
And I stopped asking that question many years back.
Good.
Because at one time I asked the question until one of the monks get really angry. So I stopped asking that. Because like what Brother BD said, that question that they cannot be really understood by people like us. It's beyond us. 31 plane? Seriously?
We're not sure. We're not sure.
Are we able to experience that?
I'm not sure. But what we can do is let's come to this point.
I know.
In which way does thinking about that makes me a better human being?
Exactly.
That question really comes to the ground. Like yesterday we speaking about the ghost or beings. In which way thinking about that purifies my mind?
Yeah.
Because our responsibility is take care of the anger or impatience that I still have. Everybody has a little bit. I think we all have still. Desire and attachment, this is the work we need to do. Yes, the universe is immense, and scientists have been trying for centuries to understand it, and they will continue for long, because it's very broad. But our job is to purify our mind. In which way, thinking about rebirth and all that, I cannot prove it totally. I trust, because many things that the Buddha said, I already proved, even in small pieces. He said, if you calm your mind, you will experience happiness. Yes, it is right. So many small things have been proven. So that's why now, in my case, I am open. But yes, we might not never know all the causes for life, all the existence, the rebirth, and all the realms. Who knows? But our job is to purify this mind. And if that is taking us away from that work, we are wasting time.
Yeah. Buddha said that
Precisely.
in Kalama
Yes.
don't believe everything I say, don't believe this, with that. You can experience yourself.
Yes.
So the other way we can experience ourselves is this life.
Yes.
As you say, every night you go to sleep,
Yes.
you actually die.
Mm.
So next day you are reborn. So actually you can see for yourself what you are doing today also impact you tomorrow. So this karma rebirth.
Yes.
So I think you can sleep clearer while I'm waiting for the ultimate death.
Well, we are not dead when we go to sleep. The mind just goes to pause for a little while, and then it comes back abandoned, and then goes back to pause. Like in the Abhidhamma, they explain Bhavanga, it goes to this state, the consciousness is still on. The only moment when the consciousness separates from the body is at the moment of death. It's the only moment that it separates. So when we are sleeping, it just goes to, how you say, standby mode. Standby.
Actually, we can see for ourselves. Are we seeing our karma and vipaka?
Yes.
It's very clear.
Very clear. We are the fruits of the seeds we planted in the past, and there is no other way. So I always bring it back to the present and to what we can do. What do I want to be? What do I plant now? So if we got bad fruits from the past because of our ignorance, we all got some bad fruits, no? Like bitter. How you call this? Bitter gourd? Bitter gourd, but in Chinese, how you say? Fuqua. Fuqua. If you get fuqua, it's because you put the fuqua seed. If you got apple, pingguo, if you get pingguo, it's because you put pingguo seed. So the thing is, yes, I can be thinking about all the seeds that I have planted in the past. I don't know because I am not there anymore, but I can be sure of the seeds I am planting now. With my words, with the physical actions, and with thought. So if I want to have a beautiful orchard and have apples to enjoy and to share with others, now is the moment that I take care. So in which way this thinking makes me a better human being, or in which way this thinking of the topics we have brought up, soul, different realms, birth, rebirth, etc., purifies my mind. Is it generating more doubt? I'm going opposite. Is it generating more agitation? I'm going opposite. Is it generating more attachment to the view I have and I want to convince you of my view? Now ego came in. Now we are more in trouble. What is the thing doing to the mind? We take responsibility, and our job is to let go, eventually. There we go, my dear family. It's a pleasure to explore together. Really feel welcome. Feel at home. We can talk. We can explore. We may not have all the answers, but at least we are exploring together. And we know where to find them, many of them. So we go. Welcome. Shall we go with a few more questions? Yes? Okay. So the next one, this is the last one. This one just came in, and it says, today. Yeah, we go as the energy. We don't want to put too tired or too much energy. Also, the mind has, and we let it sink. You let me know. Ne? I hope I am. How would you say? I hope I am careful enough, trying not to bring too much content. And if I did, I'm sorry. I will be careful about it. But definitely there is interest. There are questions in, so we follow. Ne? The monk, we have the instruction from the Buddha. If nobody asks you, you quiet. We are not missionaries. I didn't came to nothing or go to Mexico to convince people. In Spanish, we have one saying that I like so much. Calladito te ves más bonito. Calladito means quiet, you look more beautiful. So learn it. Calladito means little quiet. Calladito means small, and callado means small. So calladito, so smally quiet, you look way more beautiful. So for this retreat, I was invited. I didn't say, oh, BGF, why don't we make a retreat? Did I? No. They came, oh, Bhante, can we do a retreat? Let me see how yes, it's possible, gladly. And then the question comes, remember, we have that instruction from the Buddha. Así que, calladito, si no, if nobody asks us, calladito, te ves más bonito. Okay, we go, my dear family. When we grow old, blur and having dementia, and the moment we are, can you help me to read it? Or any of you? Yeah, my eyes sometimes not very good, ne?
When we
The eyes.
grow old, blur and having dementia, and the moment we are about to die,
Yes.
but there is no one there to remind us about our goodness.
Yes.
So how?
When we grow old and dementia, and there is no one there to remind us about our goodness, how are we gonna do? Well, we have a challenge. In this case, I would say that we go back to our habitual karma. While we are still flexible in our mind, this is why our teacher says, don't stop, don't waste your life, cultivate wisdom, cultivate morality. So in case our mind starts losing its flexibility, which it will, as we get old, I'm already forgetting some things, né? Like, where was this? Why did I came here? And then you remember. So we will start losing, it's normal, because of the usage of the brain. So what we want to do better, thank you very much, is to do so much good, and our mind will be so habitually doing kusala, thinking on goodness, so it will continue. No one knows. If our mind doesn't remember, we try our best, and we can also hack our mind. If I don't remember, but if in the back of the phone I put the photo of my teacher, even when I'm forgetful, I turn on the phone or open the computer or have pictures in the monastery, that will be our call. Oh, the Dhamma, the goodness you have done. This list can be another reminder. This is what we are doing. So we will not fight. If nature takes away some of our flexibility with some dementia, well, we try our best. Let's do as much as we can now, so our mind is already used and enjoying goodness. So whenever our capacities are falling down, I really think that energy will continue to flow. So keep your environment inspiring. Like whatever inspires you, if it is the image of the Buddha, the image of your teachers, of your family, put them in your altar. Keep them close so your mind is going back to it. And even with dementia, my grandma had dementia, and there were some clarity moments there. So there was not all the time. She was telling us, did you buy milk? Yes, mama. And there is this milk in the fridge. And then later, did you buy the milk already? Yes, mama. But there were some moments where she knew and remembered. So we hope. And if the incapacity is physical, well, there is nothing to do. We continue flowing, no? Reminders, hacking the mind, make photos of things that remind our goodness. Hopefully we are surrounded by Kalyanamitas around. Let's do now that we are physically and mentally flexible. Let's cultivate now. There is no time to waste. And also, you want some good news? Don't worry, we will have dementia, and if we didn't finish, we will die, and we'll have another opportunity. So may we be together with these friends, may we come back together to the Dhamma. I take the determination. If I don't remember, I swear to you, the joy we have felt in the Dhamma already, I'm sure that the joy is unforgettable, isn't it? Joy is unforgettable. If we are having joy while we are purifying our mind, I dare to say that next life, in the same way when you saw a monk or you want to come to BGF and you want to come to a retreat, something inside of you pulled, we can trust. You can trust because it happened already. How on earth did I become a Buddhist monk? Just explain me. Impossible. There was something inside that says, I know that man has something to offer. I know that man has something to offer. Catch him. And I was with my ex-wife, and then we went to talk to him. And that was a big part of the path. We can trust. As we say in Mexico, if the river has sound, it's because it has water. The river of your mind already, the river of your mind already loves wisdom. That's why you are here. The river of your mind, understanding or not, it already knows goodness. The river of your mind already knows that we have more potential than what the world is asking from us. The river of your mind already saw that only doing worldly things is not bringing happiness. Can you trust in you? Can you trust in your own nature? You are already here. Did anybody force you? Not me. We all came willingly. I rest. Even if old age come, whatever we could do, we take it, enjoy it. When my grandma became with dementia, she became like a child again. She was not remembering. And she was curious about everything, she was enjoying very simple things. The body has done its job. It was already used, the parts of the brain. And she passed away 1 year ago, and it was okay. Exercise for the body and the mind. Let's do exercise. Don't stop studying. If you can learn a new language now. Not just to speak it, but to keep your mind active. That will be like for exercise for the body, for our minds. And if we have the genes or the karma for that, well, we accept and flow. Yes, shall we continue with one more? Everybody okay? Yes, we continue. Yeah, this is very soft. Dear Bhante, why is it that in my thoughts I often find myself talking to someone? Why do my thoughts come in a form of I conversation? Thank you. We care about others in two ways. Either for good, or I have to say, anybody here that when you are thinking you find yourself, you're talking to somebody else? Anybody here? No? Just a few people? A few of you, but this is kind of private. Good. A few of us find ourselves. When I'm talking to other people, sometimes I'm thinking, for example, somebody did something wrong to me, and the mind says, the next time I see him, I will tell him this and this and this and that. Anybody has felt that before? imagining what you will tell to the other person, or trying to see how you're going to explain.
Yes.
You know, generally when I look at that, you know, the teachers explain in the Abhidhamma that the ingredient of our mind, which is mana, is the ego. It starts and it functions whenever there is comparison with somebody else. As soon as I am with myself and I forget about myself, anatta, there is nobody. But if I see another human being, immediately the mind says, male, female, young, old, rich, poor, whatever concepts we start putting onto the people, as long as there is comparison, the ego, my ego, what I think I am and what I want to become, starts coming in, and then is where we care about other people. Generally, when we are thinking about others, we are also thinking about ourselves. Otherwise, who is talking? Who is talking to whom? I am talking to you, to my family, to my friend, to somebody. We do care, and in general, I will say, based on my own experience, generally when the mind is talking to somebody else, yeah, there is some comparison. The sense of I is present. Would you agree with that? If we are thinking about ourselves and talking to somebody else, do you think our I is present at that moment? Would you think yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, no, we can all agree. Yes, the sense of I is there, ego is there, and now going to explore our ego, ego do cares how we want to be perceived. And that's why Facebook was invented. Ne? I want to show myself to the world in this way. Anybody has woken up in the morning like really like this with the hair like this, or let me take a photo so I put on Facebook and then you put it? Anybody put a ugly photo in Facebook? Nobody. 1, 2, 3, nobody. But anybody was very angry. I like this. Oh, let me take a photo to put it on Facebook. Anybody was angry, put it on Facebook? None of us. Instagram, nothing. In Instagram, we always want to show the other one our best face. And for that, we need to plan. Let me see. How can I show my best self? I don't know if people uses Facebook to show how successful we are. I don't know if Facebook is to show how successful we are, or if it is to show how miserable you are. Sometimes it's both, and our ego enjoys both of them. So when our ego is thinking about somebody else, it is saying, next time I see that person, let's take a look from this perspective. I want to portray myself as this and this and this and that. Isn't it sometimes that it happens? So if you ask me, just by the exploration, why when the mind is thinking about yourself first, because somebody is talking to somebody else, and it's one to portray generally in a good light. Especially if somebody contradicted us, like somebody told us, oh no, you're wrong about this or about that. We go together, next time I will know. What I will answer to that person? Or if we wish to help, also, our ego or our sense of self tries to help somebody. Not everything is wrong. Everything is not always wrong or always good. It can also be good. I'm thinking, what can I say to that person to help her or to help him? No, that person is having some suffering. What could I tell to that person? So both things. Definitely a sense of I will be present and a sense of the other will be present, which will reinforce my sense of I. If there is something, I am, because there is comparison. The important thing to know, yes, our mind talks and invents conversations with other people. What is going to be important? What is the intention behind the conversation we're inventing? Do I want to portray myself like a better than the other person with ego? As they say, no. Very low quality, no. Do I want to use this thinking for other people to help? The intention is good. That's why the Buddha says, don't worry about the action, worry about the intention behind the action. So we step back. Yes, the mind is thinking. What for? Ask the mind, why are you talking to other people? Is it useful? Are you obsessed with something? Are you worried about something? We investigate and check our intention and choose for good. What do you think? Would that be a good option? Anyway, the mind is doing. Would that be good? I think whoever did the question, do you have something to follow up? Anybody? Or maybe the person left already? Okay, if that is so, we're exploring now. No? Just checking ingredients that might be in and trying to bring that exploration onto cultivation of goodness. Why I find myself talking to someone imaginarily. Now, next question of the same. Would it be useful to be imagining or to be experiencing directly? Because I don't know about you, but I have spent, or better said, I have wasted a lot of time imagining situations, conversations. Somebody else who knows that you have wasted a lot of time, even some of the stories I was telling, I was torturing myself, remembering past experiences that were not comfortable or imagining fears. So anybody of you has think that I have wasted a lot of time saying stories? Many of us, no? So in general, I would say that if we can recognize that the mind is doing that again and learn to say, thank you very much, we are going nowhere. I know that. We will find, or solve it, write the answer and forget about the thing. Move on, because there will be more learning and benefit in recognizing the reality as it is. It will be much better to cultivate and we let go. Eventually, silence will be more beneficial. Yes. A few more to go. Shall we go? The next one says, Bhante, how do we get piti and sukha while meditating? Do they arise naturally while we do walking or sitting meditation? Not always naturally. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but we can definitely pull them up. Or do we have to intentionally think of the feeling of piti? Piti means joy, and sukha means happiness, while meditating so that they can arise naturally? Very beautiful question. If piti, if joy, as our sister yesterday said, no, she was listening to metta and suddenly she felt so happy about the metta that was, loving kindness that was being chanted, and the tears of joy came out of the eyes, no? So sometimes joy appears naturally. One thing that brings us a lot of joy is seeing goodness in others. Have you seen a child being generously natural to somebody else? How did you felt? You say, oh, that's why the word sadhu was invented. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. You continue. I rejoice in the goodness you are doing. Goodness generally brings us joy. Generally, I say. Because piti, shockingly, it's an ethically variable mental ingredient. If we are here and our enemy comes inside, there is a banana peel, and then he goes like this and falls down to the floor, everybody.
Schadenfreude.
But if our enemy falls down, you see, you laugh right now, just by the thought. If our enemy comes in and if he falls, so piti is not always good, eh? Bhante, how come? When I heard for the first time, what? The teacher said, yes, joy, a person who has cruelty, when the enemy is suffering, that person is rejoicing. That's why we have movies. If there was not that thing, we wouldn't have any movies. They would not be successful, or dramas, soap operas. So, what kind of joy am I bringing to my life? Is it wholesome or unwholesome? Because if I rejoice in the misfortune of others, well, that joy is very low, horrible. So, knowing that first, I need to be careful. What is the source of my happiness? So, if when we are surrounded by goodness, and that makes us happy, and it happens naturally, wonderful. Keep it on. And I will invite, please recognize what was the trigger for that joy. If the joy that you experienced was spend sending loving kindness, well, do it more. And in that way, as the question says, you will keep it up because you know the cause of the wholesome joy. I will continue loving others. May you be well, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you be at ease. If the source of your joy was mental stability, well, now I know, I just go and meditate more. And if in case that the pity or the happiness is not happening naturally, there are also ways to bring it up. May I share the one that works the best for me?
Yeah.
You have everything today. When I want to bring joy, I bring the two lists that we just made these days. Isn't it? I can see your faces. You saw your faces. If I want to bring joy, the one that brings the most is that dignity that we saw today. I have tried. I have not killed. I don't kill. I don't steal. I don't cheat. I don't lie. I don't insult others or divide people. I don't intoxicate the mind with alcohol or drugs. And that dignity, isn't it joyful? And from that dignity, happiness comes. So, it is possible to arise it with Sila Nusati. Also, we did yesterday with our gratitude, all our blessings. We are a dignified human being and we are loved. I am loved by others. Think about it. If somebody helped you in the past, actually, it's a way of expressing love, isn't it? Just think about it. I am loved. I am respected. In the same way that I love others and I respect others. I am trying to grow internally, let go of the attachments and the negativity I have. If you remember that before starting, you remember in the meditation we do in the morning that I say, brain, what is the next thing that I always invite? Thank you. Just the word thank you. Isn't that word and the energy of gratitude makes us joyful immediately? Thank you. And then, not to bring a second turn, brain, thank you very much for the service. What is next? May you be healthy and strong for many more years. Gratitude and love. First, acknowledgement. I see you. You are not invisible. I don't take you for granted. I have a brain that works. I see you, thank you, and I wish you the best. Oh, and then with that we concentrate. Piti and sukha is bound to come. Is bound to come. So I know sometimes I'm doing like this, side to side. No, you have seen that I do side to side. Generally, this body when he's doing that. It's because he's experiencing some degree of joy. So sometimes I'm like this and you can measure little joy or a little bit more joy. And sometimes, this is a confession, don't say outside here because we have a rule that we cannot do that. But sometimes the feel is so much when I feel so much happiness because the person is it's going good for that person and Mudita is there. I start doing like this and I call it Stevie Wondering. I say, oh, now I'm Stevie Wondering, like how he do like this. Sorry. But yes, it happens. The body is just doing like this. It's joy, the joy comes up. Piti and sukha. It's the path, it's part of the path. Factors of enlightenment, both of them. It's not a luxury. A happy mind is a willful mind. A happy mind is a strong mind. A happy mind shares. A happy mind lets go. Yes, I can let go. I am full already. Yes, you can take it. A miserable mind is not willing. A suffering mind don't want to share because he's afraid that I will not have later. So I better keep for myself. My dear family, this is very strong. A mind that suffers is stingy, generally. A mind that is afraid don't want to share. A mind that is suffering don't want to let go. Imagine how beautiful this path is. It is through happiness that we will let go and release and reach our highest potential joyfully. I grew up in a culture where they told me, that man over there in the cross with blood and with spears and with a crown of thorns, you is because of you. You are guilty of that. Yeah, it's the original sin. He is there because of your sins. When I was small and I saw that,
Scared.
I really felt, and so many people, when you enter the churches, a lot of blood. Good Asuba practice. So, a lot of blood here and there. I was really scared, and they told me, he is there. And then when they told me his qualities, he was a saint, and he was crucified because of me. Wow, I really felt unfair. No, bring him down. But why do they keep always suffering? They tell us you will liberate by suffering. But how can you turn fire? How can you turn off fire with fire? Not possible. So you can imagine the freedom that I felt now practicing in this path where suffering is acknowledged, taking responsibly, looking at the cause, and let it go, and being released. You can't imagine the relief I feel. You didn't have that weight. Your parents didn't tell you that you were a sinner and that's why he's crucified. But I did. They told me. What a relief. So that means, Bhante, I can release from all suffering through joy? Yes. Through love? Yes. Through understanding and wisdom? Yes. That is going to give the courage to trust all your goodness and let go. And when you let go, you're going to be free. Nothing to carry. Breathe in and breathe out. We breathe in back again and out. Hatred cannot be overcome by hatred, only with love. That's an eternal law. Two more to go. Good?
Yeah.
And the last one is also tasty, ne? Also tasty. Bhante, you showed that you shared that to keep the wounds dry and clean. You have shared these 2 days that to keep the wounds dry and clean. And meditation practice, during meditation practice, it pops up and it hurts emotionally. Please advise what I have to learn. What have I not learned or forgiven? That's the question. So if I understand the question, we have been speaking about keeping our wounds, our heart wounds, dry and clean. And during meditation, it is coming up an old wound. What have I not learned or forgiven? Or we can also frame it, how can we keep our heart, the wounds of our heart, clean and dry so they can heal by themselves? Let's start with the example of a cut we have in our arm. Tang. We are in the forest, we are careless and we crash with the tree and the tree makes us a wound. We are open. So we know that, I say again because there were some people here yesterday, they were not here yesterday. So if I cut, the best thing that I can do is clean it and leave it to dry. And I don't have to do much for it. I just don't touch it. And nature, naturally, I think we all have scars here and there when we were a child. I have one here. I was very naughty, so they are there. And nature heal them. They don't hurt anymore. You just get the learning, the memory of it. Well, the same happens with the wounds of the mind, and the same happens with the wounds of the heart. So the way to touch a wound physically will be, if it is scratchy, like, when it is healing, how you call this thing, blood that is dried and is on top, how you call that thing?
Blood.
Eh? Scab.
SCAB.
SCAP? It's scab. The scab, thank you. So we call the scab. When the scab comes up, it becomes itchy, and you want to you want to scratch, but if you scratch and think, you take the scab again, what happened to the wound? Again, you come back again. So then, again it's healing. New blood comes out, and it makes another scab, and it becomes itchy again. And if I cannot resist, I want to scratch back it again. And when is that wound going to heal? Never. It can even get infected. It can get even worse than what it was. So the best thing is to do, not to touch it. Now, how to do, not to touch the wound in your mind. By the way, when do you scratch your mind?
React.
When you're thinking on the thing, reacting, you go back again to the story. So, if somebody hurt us, for example, somebody offended us, the hurt is done, is performed. Yes, the mind or the heart was wounded. But if I continue saying, oh, this person told me this, scratch, 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 scratch. Oh, that person did me that, scratch, scratch, scratch. Take away the snap. How is it snap? No. Scab. You take the scab again. Oh, that person did me that, scratch, 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 scratch. Again, the snap comes away. So the best thing to do is, when we remember the story, tell the mind, recognize that the mind is remembering the story. And there is one phrase that I use to the mind. Anybody of you, have you ever heard your mind telling you a story over and over and over and over again, to the degree that you are tired? Oh, yeah, again. So anybody who has felt your mind telling you the same story again and again and again and again, I think most of us will have that. There is a formula that I use to the mind, and I tell the mind, darling, you don't need to tell me the story again. I was there, I was there when it happened. You don't need to tell me again. Thank you. You don't need to remind me again. I know all the details. So we need to recognize first that the mind is doing it. And second, recognize that it is based on many experiences before, that you are not going nowhere by scratching and making the wound deeper. And even deeper, because remember, as the story moves throughout time, we start adding things to the thing. Yeah. And later, have you seen your grandpa? When my grandpa was telling me a story, and he would tell, and the first time he told me the story, very nice. And then throughout the years, he told me the story many times. And before he died, oh, Papa, I don't remember the story. It was like that. It was very different. Our mind changes because the real happening is already so far. We start adding things to the story, and it becomes worse. Then we become victimized. Oh, poor me, it comes like this, scratching in the mind. So what we need to do is recognize and thank you.